China is a beautiful place that is filled with centuries of history and rich culture. However, due to the rapidly rising population the country now faces many problems. The air pollution levels are increasing at an uncontrollable rate, and the people and the environment are suffering. Every year, about 800,000 lives are taken due to bad air quality. If you live in China, will you be one of those affected by air pollution? Not only are adults aware of the issue of air pollution in China, but so are kids.
Do you wear masks? So do you have big machines that take the bad stuff out?
Chinese local kids especially know how the air pollution in China works. They can't do much because their families are not too wealthy, so they're at risk. But what about foreign children?
The air pollution's bad sometimes. One day I had to stay at home for 2 hours and wait without any friends. What they do is clean up the rubbish from the ground.
China has seen tremendous economic and urban growth, but one of the costs, some of the worst air quality in the world. It's a health issue and increasingly a political one as well.
People all over the world are affected by air pollution, causing disease and illness, and the earth is subjected to environmental devastation. In order to have an impact, there must be a reason or a cause. China's air pollution was not that significant, but in recent years it has progressed as technology and globalization have had an impact. These are causing noticeable changes in the quality of air. I see them every day.
北京的污染主要是因为空气、汽车的尾气排放。另外，北京三面环山，这里像一个盆地，如果没有北边来的风的话，这些雾都上不了，然后空气、汽车的尾气也上不了，这是造成北京的。
Cars and factories are some of the main sources of how air pollution is generated. Because China's population is increasing quickly, more resources are needed to support this growth. More and more automobiles and factories are required, emitting harmful substances. These chemicals eventually reach the air, which causes it to appear gray and dirty.
I drive car, yes, but I drive diesel. I think the diesel is better than gasoline.
As of late 2013, China hit 120 million cars. The number of cars bought annually will keep on increasing rapidly. Air pollution in other countries may be bad, but because of the lower population, those countries don't suffer as much. Less resources are needed. Although, air pollution in China is being sent over to places like the United States.
Air pollution moves to other parts of the world because the Earth is always in turmoil, especially prevailing winds. In the northern hemisphere, prevailing winds go from west to east, and so air pollution, which is produced in a place, say, in Western Europe, would blow to Eastern Europe. And air pollution that's produced in Asia would blow over the Americas because that's the way the Earth revolves. So air pollution is constantly being moved around by air current.
16 out of 20 or more cities in the world with the worst air are in China. The issue needs to be solved before other countries are in the same situation. The effects of air pollution can be absolutely devastating.
First today, the dense smog that is choking Beijing. Air pollution levels in China's capital hit scary heights over the weekend, reaching up to 45 times the normal safety level. Not only are residents alarmed about poor air quality, Beijing authorities are taking notice as well.
Because most people do not have access to information to comprehend pollution levels by themselves, a system called the Air Quality Index gives people an accurate number each day that provides advice and may advise them to stay indoors. When people still choose to go outside, they are exposing themselves to toxic pollutants in the air. Certain particles from cars, factories, and cigarettes are so small that they pass the protection of our nose and throat and stick to our lungs. These pollutants are breathed in through the lungs and can interfere with the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We don't even realize what's happening to our bodies. Air pollution can cause coughing, headaches, dizziness, or itchiness of sensitive areas like your eyes or throat.
I do have a dreadful cough that makes me sound like a wee dog.
On days with a high level of pollution, playing sports can affect how I breathe. I do go outside a lot and sometimes I feel dizzy because of what I inhale, which is bad air.
It has definitely affected my health because when I lived in America, my asthma wasn't that bad, but then after I came here I started doing more activity. I think it started getting to me to the point where I'd be in the middle of a basketball game inside and I would have an asthma attack on the side of the court and had to be pulled out.
Air pollution has caused some long-term effects as well. It has been known to trigger heart attacks in those who have experienced one or more before, can cause lung cancer, or provoke asthma. The harmful particulates from the air can damage tissue, which can cause the brain or other nerves to be put at risk. 800,000 people are claimed dead annually in China due to cancer that ultimately is the result of an exposure to air pollution.
There's an interesting study that I saw that was put out where they're looking at the effects of air pollution and mortality. So they're saying that if you live in a heavily air polluted country, you can actually shorten your life by as much as 5 years on average.
Children whose lungs are still developing are especially at risk, as well as the elderly who are not as good as taking care of their body as they age and are vulnerable. Middle-aged people are at risk as well, as they may age faster. However, there is hope. There are many ways to improve the state of air pollution in China, but it's highly unlikely for the situation to be completely solved. I've asked the same kids that I showed you before about what they think are some great ways to help out.
Like carpool, by riding bikes to school if you live near. Okay.
What are some ways that you can improve air pollution?
By planting trees.
If you want to help make the air of better quality, the solutions that the kids stated are a start. Take responsibility like they are doing. Because I'm a Westerner and I know what it's like to live in a polluted area such as Beijing, I want to fix the situation. The air even becomes depressing at times. Since there are many people in China, if more people help contribute to improving the air quality, the problem will become better. One way to help us live in a healthier environment is by turning off your lights when you leave a room. Unplug things from the sockets in your home when they are not in use to save energy. This also saves you money. Another way you can reduce the amount of air pollution that you create is by persuading you and your parents to take public transportation to school or work. That's what I try doing. It's cheap, affordable, and it's much quicker as you don't get stuck in as much traffic, especially if you take the subway. Trust me. Reduce the amount of water and electricity you use.
Reuse, reduce, recycle.
Reuse paper by using the back side of it and make sure you dispose of it properly. And recycle the bottles you might use. In fact, go to a shop and purchase a pretty one that you can take on the go. Other ways to decrease the amount of air pollution in China are by getting people to stop smoking. Don't litter because it'll make a place look ugly. Plant more trees, and walk to your destinations if they're close by. Pollution, particularly in China but across the world, is a serious situation that humans, animals, and the environment suffer from every single day. It's caused because of how we live. We eventually get hurt from it, but there are ways to improve the problem, and it starts with you. China's air is now terrible. But if we take on the responsibility and use the solutions given, we can all help to create more of a blue sky, or at least a bit clearer, and to have healthier lives for the next 50 to 100 years. Together, we can fight this ongoing conflict and make the lives of future generations even better.